So what's going on today, Kopi fam? We're going to be getting into a series over the next couple of days as it will come out here. We're going to go over the week of leaks from the three different videos that the different members from the Cornucopias community were on and some of the Cornucopias team members. And we're going to have a couple of members with us here today. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get to our first guest. Our first guest is going to be Jupiter. How we doing, Jupiter?
Thanks for having me on, man.
Alrighty, man. Well, so we got Jupiter on here. We got one more with us here. So we're gonna get Biomex over here with us here. So Biomex, how are we doing, sir?
Doing great. Good to be with you, Jupiter, Ada Ace.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Glad to join you.
So, with that being said, we're going to have all three of us over here. So, Jupiter, since this is the first time kind of getting together on my channel, other than, you beat me at a race at my own game that I started and whatnot. So, hey, one day I'll beat you. I don't know if I will, but one day, it'll be my thing that I'm
getting worse, so it'll happen.
So, other than that, tell me a little bit about Jupiter and whatnot.
So I found Cornucopias, I guess, around 2.5 years ago. And I guess about 1.5 years ago, I bought my first gaming PC for Cornucopias, and I just been here for the journey, man. I loving being a part of the community, love the game.
You've been around for a while.
Really cool yeah, I've been around for a minute, and it is really cool to see everything come into fruition slowly but surely.
So, when I got into it, I got in like the token side. I didn't even know anything about the NFT side or the game or anything else like that. And then I got into like how it was actually going to be own parts of the game. And that's when I started buying one for me and been buying one for, I guess, my then 8-year-old or 9-year-old. He's now 12. He plays sometimes. Now my 17-year-old actually plays sometimes on the racing deals or whatnot. But that was, getting into it for that, kind of deal. Biomex, what's your story on Cornucopias and whatnot there?
So I've heard about Cornucopias. Obviously, I've been in the Cardano NFT space for a few years now. And heard about it, knew that it came out, but just like with all the other metaverses, I was just waiting for a game to actually come to some sort of gameplay. And so at Rare Evo, when I met you and saw them there, realized that they were just about to launch this first step of the game. So I jumped in, bought a couple land plots, and I'm excited. Been testing it out for the last week.
Yeah, so you're a little late to the game kind of deal, but you're not late at all, actually. So if anybody hasn't bought any land plots or anything yet, they are all minted and whatnot, probably a year or two ago now. But they are still on secondary markets that you can pick up. The floor is rising. I would suggest not buying floor ones if you want to get into the solace. You might have your uncommons and other deals come in and try to take some of the land plots because the 24,000 that are there are for Solace, Fortune, and Esperanza, or Esperanza, however you want to say that or whatnot. But those are all of them coming out there. So what we're here today is to break down a video that I've made together. I put the video together, and it's all three of the videos that was done with the team and their leaks and whatnot. So without further ado, let's try to get over to that section here. And I think I have all three of you here now. So what we'll do is we can just press
the
play
finale
and start listening
7
to some
Days
of
of
this.
Solace. This has been a phenomenal series. It's been very fun. Every single guest that I have had on in this past 7 days has brought some incredible value to this series. You got to know the Cornucopias community. You got to know a lot of the guilds. You got to know like a lot of content creators, and it's been so much fun. So much great thought has been brought to it. But today I am extremely excited and very honored to bring you a very special guest, a Hacha.
That was quite an intro, by the way. So I
thank
feel like you really pumped me up.
Yeah.
But I've got quite a few things to say, and I probably have some answers for a few things if anybody's got questions. So
absolutely,
let's do this.
Let's do this. We're starting at the Worldbreaker because I think you mentioned some interesting things about some stuff.
So is that something that y'all caught, that he had actually been given the role as game director?
No, I didn't know that before seeing this. And to be honest, I can't say that I really know the difference between what a creative director and a game director does, what the difference is.
So I'm guessing from my side is that he's actually, more over the entire game, more like a CEO is over the company, instead of just being over the creative side of it, like the ideas and other things like that. That's kind of where I got from that. BioMX, what did you get from that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm a little bit new to the game, so learning all these different roles and stuff that are coming, it's just news to me. So
you're going to learn a lot
to be and how it's used.
You're going to learn a lot from David today. David's actually a really cool guy, real down to earth and everything. So that's pretty interesting there.
Yeah, we're all David fans in the community for sure.
For sure.
You'd like to talk about and give some insights on?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who are probably like, why do we always start here?
Right.
What the Worldbreaker? This is not. I mean, there's actually multiples of these. Worldbreaker is just kind of like it's a ship name. So if you U.S. Navy has a lot of ships, and they're all given like a certain name. Multiples of these. This particular one is the Worldbreaker, and this is what ferries players in from the other dimensions. So in the beginning of the game, and I'm not going to talk too much about the intro sequence to the game, but you're brought through the World Gate, which is very close to Toledo, and that's bringing people in from all other dimensions of the Earth, and we kind of treat it like a multiverse. I mean, that's what a lot of the lore is actually about. That there's all these different versions of Earth, and there's really different states of humanity and things that are going on between all these sort of different Earth worlds. So we're bringing everyone into Cornucopias because Cornucopias needs help.
Cornucopias needs help. What does Cornucopias need help from? We're like in the sky.
Built on the land needs to, we need to develop our properties. Maybe that has something to do with helping the actual. I don't know.
There's like the interdimensional side where like the multiple Earths and stuff. So like they have like the deal or whatever happened on Earth that created us to need to go to the sky. But this is like not the only place, maybe?
This was also the first mention of the World Gate, which we got more info on in the last cafe. And I know we'll get to that, but I didn't realize until rewatching this now that he used that term.
Yeah, so that's right.
On the last cafe 102, he talked a lot about that, or talked a little bit about that. She even showed the first the gate actually on Earth. So yeah, that's where I first learned.
Yeah, well,
and it's a lot cooler, man, but similar to the look of the. Did you guys ever watch what was that show? They had the Stargate
SGU. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Yeah, that's definitely one of the things later on.
So there's sort of this call to action where things haven't went very well here in Cornucopias, this version of Earth, and we could use your help, and that's in a lot of different ways. It's not just combat, fighting quantum monsters, helping shut down rifts. It's also economically as well. We're in a world here of Cornucopias where 80% of life on Earth has been destroyed, and many people have migrated around to the Atlantic seabed. So you also have this duality of worlds, where you have the people in the sky and you have the people on the surface. But Worldbreaker,
see. What? There's still people on the surface?
There's still people on Earth. There's still people there.
So is that where we're coming from? Because we're coming from Earth? Like when we're made in as an avatar, are we coming in from Earth and we're choosing to take the Worldbreaker, like it's like taking the pill to come out of the Matrix and stuff like that?
Well, I don't think it's the same as coming out of the Matrix, but I think that you make a decision to go from living on the Earth to living in Cornucopias. And your last question, when you said what do they mean by Cornucopias needs help? It seems like he actually answered that because he said there's multiple ways to help, and that includes shutting down rifts, fighting quantum monsters, and also economically.
Yep. Yep. So that's
So you're
a
making
good
a decision to
trifecta.
come live up here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also, as somebody who is always in the Discord, there was also a time when David mentioned that there could be more than one in-game currency because of the people that are still on the Earth having a different type of currency than the people in Cornucopias.
That's like changes some things too there. Like needing
It also begs the question: will we ever be able to buy a land plot on Earth?
You've thought a lot through this. That's a good question.
I've been
Later.
immersed. I've been immersed for a while.
Well, also without having the full story given, it allows us to have shows like this to where we talk and have our own thought patterns of how this possibly might go and everything as well. We ain't even got out the ship yet, bro. We ain't even got out the ship.
Is what brings you in. I'll give you a little bit of, I guess, alpha about the intro sequence. The Worldbreaker doesn't quite make it here on its intro sequence, so it has a few issues with some folks on the surface. So that's there.
That was an interesting turn right at the end. So are we like at civil war with each other? You know, kind of deal.
He said the Worldbreaker had some issues with people on the surface. Now check this out.
And it doesn't quite get here on the first attempt.
All right. Well, Ace, check this out, right? Note that when you arrive on the Worldbreaker robot that's standing there, she makes a joke at the end of the whole spiel that she gives, and she says, try not to trip. Like, she's like, as you exit the Worldbreaker, she says something along the lines of, try not to trip. That would be 2 bad trips in one day. So this trip here, there's something bad about it.
There's something that occurred on the in between when we make the decision to leave and what we've been able to play as when we arrive. Biomex, we're like probably blowing your mind on the actual like in-depth lore that this game probably has. What's going through your head right now, man?
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I've played several different games, and just getting into this one, I've watched a few videos over the last couple weeks, and jumped into the game and played. But I'm getting a lot more intrigued the more you guys are talking about the lore, obviously that's been built up over the last couple of years. So it's exciting.
It's also grown too, man. Like really and truly, it's the reason why they haven't released the lore yet all the way is because they haven't written it all the way. It's still coming to them. They're still evolving their own story, probably with some of the things that we give them as a community anyway. All right, Kobe fam, that's it for the first episode of the Week of Leaks. We're just getting started and things are going to get crazy, but don't forget, episode 2 drops in just 12 hours. You won't want to miss this. Smash the likes, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on our socials for more corn content. Peace, guys.